Hello everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. It seems like we can't go a week without a ridiculous amount of stuff to talk about in the hobby, so let's go over it all. First up, we have another Hidden Fates reprints. That's right, Hidden Fates tins are being reprinted again, and this time it looks to be global. So places in the UK, Europe, Singapore, Asia, they're all getting more Hidden Fates. This is great news for some, questionable news for others. We'll definitely touch on that subject. Pokemon Japan is also doubling the number of trophy hyper rare Charizard V Max cards that they're going to be giving out to people in their tournaments. So plenty more copies. I might actually be able to get a copy now that there's more than 600 of them out there. The most expensive and popular Pokemon collectible right now in the hobby is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but a lapras floaty. What kind of world are we living in? A strange one if you ask me. And finally, there is a new record sale in Pokemon card. The 1999 #1 trainer card just sold at auction for over $100,000. Insane value. We have so many things to talk about, so let's get right into it. First big topic on today's video, and that is the most hot Pokemon collectible right now for the summer is a Lapras pool floaty. I can't believe I'm saying that, but people are going crazy over this floaty. It all started a couple weeks ago when Pokemon Center website started selling their summer items, and one of the items was a Lapras pool floaty. It was sold for $40 retail on their website. No biggie. That's kind of an expensive pool floaty. If you were to purchase a similar, more traditional one, it would cost you like 20 bucks. So it is a high-end sort of Pokemon item. And it's been on their website for like 3 weeks straight. No one bat an eye until it was sold out. And the only way you can get this Lapras pool floaty is on the secondary market. And boy, did the price rise. 2 weeks ago, it was $100, then it was $200. Now you're lucky if you can find this Lapras pool floaty going for $300 to $400. Some people are asking for $600 up to $1,000 for this pool floaty. Insane prices, and people are actually purchasing it. This happens every now and again with sort of obscure Pokemon collectible. In February, it was the Bear Walker skateboards. Those did really well. Then you had the Daniel Arsham Pikachu statue in around May, and here in July we have these Lapras pool floaty. It just really goes to show you that you can never tell which Pokemon collectible is going to be super hot and super collectible. And if you are interested in just checking out what's available, I highly recommend you just follow the Pokemon Center website. They do all kinds of interesting drops seasonally, and sometimes you get some massive big hits like this floaty. You just never know what is going to be popular and what's going to rise in value. Next big topic we have to cover is, of course, the Hidden Fates reprint. Everyone's talking about it. Hidden Fates is getting another reprint, and this one looks to be global. First news was broken, I think, in the UK and Europe, that some of the stores in the UK were allowing pre-order for more Hidden Fates tins, and then US stores were also allowed pre-orders, as well as now stores in Asia. So it looks like this Hidden Fates tins reprint is pretty much global. And a lot of people have been asking me, Jake, how do you think this will affect the prices on Hidden Fates Pokemon cards? And it really depends. We don't know just how large this reprint is yet. It might be massive, but based on the pre-order numbers, it looks to be a pretty small reprint. The last time Hidden Fates was reprinted was around April, and prices for Hidden Fates cards actually climbed after the reprint was announced. Of the stores that were offering pre-orders in the US, I was not able to put in a pre-order with any store. They were all sold out within minutes. So this Hidden Fates reprint looks to be very strategic. It seems to be a small number. It's not a large reprint at all. Pokemon, I think, did this very smart. I think a lot of people are still happy to purchase Hidden Fates products. And don't even ask me what Hidden Fates prices are going to be a year from now. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm literally thinking 20 years down the line how Hidden Fates is going to be. And 20 years down the line, I think Hidden Fates is going to be looked at very fondly. It's a very fun set to open. It's a lot of fun, and there's a ton of collector's value inside of it. So overall, I just don't see any issue with this reprint. But like I said, small asterisk, it really depends on how large the supply is. If they're reprinting a ton of it and you can find tins under every rock, then yeah, prices are going to tank. But at the end of the day, if Pokemon is smart with this and they reprint just the right amount, just to give consumers something to look out for in stores, because I know a lot of people in the UK and Europe, they were not able to find any for months and months. It could be a total net positive even for Hidden Fates. It adds a lot more interest in the cards and in the set if people are actually able to collect and purchase some of the sealed products. So yeah, I'm totally fine with having another reprint of Hidden Fates. I wouldn't mind getting some more actually. Next bit of news is that there's going to be some extra copies of the hyper rare Charizard V Max floating around. I say limited because it's still a very rare card. Originally, the Pokemon Company in Japan were only going to release 600 copies of this card to winners of tournaments in Japan over the next couple of months. But now they've sort of gotten some backlash on that, and it makes sense because to get the card, you're sort of forcing people to play in tournaments, physical tournaments, which is very difficult right now because a lot of people are not traveling. There's sort of a global crisis going around. So the Pokemon Company sort of realized this, and they've sort of made a perfect recovery. What they've now stated is that they're going to offer an additional 600 copies of the hyper rare Charizard V Max, so that's a total of 1,200 copies. And this 600 copies is going to be available to people who are playing tournaments from their own home. All you have to do is play a tournament from your own home, record your results to the Pokemon Company, and they will randomly pick 600 winners to have a copy of this hyper rare Charizard V Max. So a total of 1,200 copies available. Originally, when there was only 600 copies available, I thought that the asking price on this Charizard, even though it's not out yet, I thought that the asking price might be around $5,000 to $10,000. With 1,200 copies, I think it's very feasible for me to find an open copy on the market and purchase it. Starting price, I would hope to be around $2,000 to $3,000, but honestly, this Charizard VMAX is going to be so incredibly popular. I still wouldn't be surprised if it was $5 grand on the first day. It'll start to drop in value as more and more copies become available on the market, as people start winning tournaments and start selling their cards. But with only 1,200 copies, it's not enough to go around. There's too many collectors who want this card for the prices to drop. It's still going to be a ridiculously expensive card. I still wouldn't be surprised if a Gem Mint 10 copy, like a grade 10 from BGS or PSA, were to still go for over 10 grand. Next up, we have some record auctions to go over. The big auction winner by far is the 1999 #1 trainer trophy card PSA 10, which features a silhouette of Mewtwo, and this card sold for a record-setting price of $108,000. If you were to go onto Heritage Auction, the website on which it was sold, you'll see that the final bidding price was $90,000. Well, then you would ask, Jake, how did you reach the price of $108,000 for this card? While the last bidding price is $90,000, that is not what the buyer pays for it. In the world of auction, we have this idea called the buyer's premium, which is an addition to just your bid. You also have to pay taxes as well as auction fees. And the auction fees on a card this expensive is 20%. So if you were to purchase this card for $90,000, you have to add in an additional $18,000 of tax and premiums to get it to you. So an incredibly expensive card. $108,000 is right around where I expected the card to land. I knew it'd be worth around $100,000. I was kind of hoping that there would be a bidding war over this card and the price really inflated, because it's a really popular card and an extremely rare card at that. You might never see another copy of this card go on the open market again. That's how rare it is. It might be another 10, 20, or 30 years before this #1 trainer trophy card is available for sale. So I was surprised that not more people wanted it, but at the end of the day, $100,000 is an extremely reasonable price for this card. The Genghis Khan trophy card was also sold for a record-setting price at this same auction. The Genghis Khan trophy card PSA 9 was sold for $44,600 at this auction. That is the highest price anyone's ever paid for a Genghis Khan trophy card, and it was only a PSA 9 copy. Still very mint, but there are PSA 10 copies of the Genghis Khan available. I think fellow YouTuber SM Pratt is asking for $120,000 for his copy, showing that the Genghis Khan trophy card PSA 9 sold for $44,000. I think he might actually get his asking price, because a PSA 10 copy would command about a 2 to 3 times multiple over a PSA 9. So his asking price actually doesn't seem so excessive when you see another copy being sold for $44,000. Last bit of news is that Pokemon Go is doing incredibly well again. Niantic has been doing a lot of amazing things with the app, and it's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying playing the game, and lots of Pokemon Go players do actually transition over to the Pokemon cards. This happened when Pokemon Go was originally released as well. When Pokemon Go was originally released, we saw a massive spike in Pokemon card prices because people do transition from one hobby to the next. Right now, the game is a lot of fun. There's currently an event going on right now where you can battle Jesse and James, and then also battle Giovanni, and all from the comfort of your own couch. This was the way that Pokemon Go should have been played from the beginning. I do kind of like walking around, but the fact that the game is playable from your own home right now is just the most fun in the world. As well, Pokemon Go Fest 2020 is now being held globally. You don't have to buy a ticket and go to a specific physical location to enjoy Pokemon Go Fest. This makes total sense. I don't know why they don't do this every year. They really should, regardless whether there is a global crisis or not. And this is not news, by the way. We've known about this for quite a while, that Pokemon Go Fest is going to be available for all players around the world. It makes total sense. Pokemon Go is an app and you can play it anywhere. So why did you force people to be at a specific location? They're going to sell way more tickets this year. I'm definitely going to be a part of it. This is my first year actually going to be a part of Pokemon Go Fest, and I'm actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to walk around, catch some Pokemons, meet some other people who also enjoy Pokemon. It's going to be just like 3 years ago when Pokemon Go first released. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to really enjoy myself, and I hope to see you guys out there catching Pokemons as well. Alright guys, that's all the news I had for this week, and boy was it a lot to cover. I think we have a lot of exciting stuff happening in the hobby right now. Are you going to also be chasing one of the 1,200 copies of the Hyper Rare Charizard V Max? I'm definitely going to try to get one for myself. I have a number in my head of how much I'm willing to pay for it, but once the card is officially available, who knows, all bets are off. I don't know how much I'm going to spend on it. I think it's going to be a super expensive card. I'm definitely going to try to get a copy for my own. With 1,200 being available, I think I should be able to get one. With 600 being available, I think it's going to be very hard to find, but with 1,200, it's much more feasible. And are you going to be playing in Pokemon Go Fest as well? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be out there, and I hope to see you guys out there as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.